So I just want to thank you first for meeting up with me on the middle of a Wednesday for a chat.
It's lovely, yes, lovely to speak to you again.
Yeah, and yeah, thanks for being a student for so long. You're one of my forefronting students back from the original days when we started classes.
Thanks for being such a fabulous teacher.
Oh, bless you. But it was lockdown that actually prompted me to go online, and obviously there was lots of dancers out there just looking for something to do at home. And I can't remember how I met you originally. I think it was maybe just advertising classes and having met you at Hackers maybe years ago.
Because you were supposed to be teaching at Goddess. And then lockdown happened and Goddess was cancelled.
Of course, well remembered. This is why I'm interviewing you, see.
Yeah. I didn't actually get to meet you in person until after lockdown.
Yes, because in person, yes, but I was thinking how we first met online, and it was, there was an online hafla, a Tribes User online hafla that they did instead of Tribal Goddess.
Yeah.
And I performed in that, and then obviously all you girls were part of that as well.
Yeah.
And everyone was watching Mark and Angela hosting it together at the time.
Yeah.
And so yes, and then I came in person later, obviously to Tribal Goddess, met you in person then. But okay, that's cool.
That was the prompt for offering classes because we couldn't do the classes at Goddess.
Yes. So yes, I took the leap and went online, which was pretty scary, not being super sufficient with IT equipment. But we did it. We've all got there, and it's we've all kind of grown together as a class. I think you
absolutely, yeah.
You guys you nurtured me as well. You helped me out with stuff, and were really understanding when I was a newbie to Batchan's ATS Sword, and I just I've been dancing it since 2013 and teaching it since 2013, but the video came out, Any Way You Slice It, Melody's video, and I think it took me quite a while to get to grips with that, and I was teaching it to Dahlia in person when I was part of Dahlia Troupe, but I think teaching you guys is what really, gave me the confidence, and we kind of expanded. We got to a certain skill level together with it. We flowed better, because it's okay to know the steps, but then it's about putting the steps together and trying different combos out and I felt I could experiment with you guys. You guys were like the guinea pigs. They're like, oh, I wonder if this works. Let's try this. Let's see what the group thinks to this. So yeah, I think it gave me a lot of creative freedom dancing with you guys. It wasn't kind of very rigid, I'm going, maybe if I was in a workshop, I'd be more kind of official of what I was teaching, having studied or spoken to Melody beforehand, and it would be a bit more formal maybe. Excuse the aeroplane. But yeah, because I had like creative freedom, I think that really helped, and it helped me then think about all the other steps that I do with Firefly and Fire Fans and Poi and Sword and stuff, sorry. And then that gave me some inspiration to go, rather than just sticking with the formatted steps, let's have a play with some of the shapes that we're making. So that's kind of how we get to the point where the Jabberwock was created in 2021. So I think classes began April-May time 2020. And then in 2021 was when I'm pretty sure I created the Jabberwock at home in the living room. And it was that and what's now known as the Firefly step. And I tested it on you guys. I remember thinking, I want to know how this looks on other dancers. So yes, I didn't really have names for them back then. I was certain about the step and I liked the feel of them, but I wasn't sure about the name. And I remember approaching you all and asking, what do you think about a name? And then you went away with the step, having learned the step, and came up with the Jabberwock.
Mm-hmm. And it was
to explain.
I would, yeah. It's that line in the Jabberwock where he says his vorpal blade went snicker snack. It's when the swords come up and cross like that.
Yes.
And it just, in my head, it just went Snicker Snack.
Yeah,
And it's as
perfect.
simple as that.
I got that perfectly. That kind of dynamic
Yeah,
swapping
it's
over.
nearly almost like scissors closing on themselves, that kind of
Yes.
feeling to it.
It's a nice cutting action. Yeah, for sure, definitely.
Because I did suggest Vorpal, first of all, we didn't like that very much. We didn't think
Yeah,
people would know
yes,
what it
yes.
was.
Yeah, no,
And then I
I
said, well,
like
it
the
came from the Jabberwock and it stuck.
yeah, because it's just unusual as well. It's a really, poignant name. It's not difficult for my rubbish memory to remember. So yeah, there's that as well, and the fact it comes from that kind of childhood feel of reading the book as a child and being very creative as a child and then bringing that into adulthood. We're still playing with dance, we're still creating, and
Exactly.
yeah, it's a really nice link, I think. I think now, obviously, it's become a step, and I think it was around 2024 presented it to Melody, and I think now it's been renamed the Jabberwocky, because we always just
Well,
called it
the
the
poem is the
Jabberwocky.
Jabberwocky, and the creature is the Jabberwock, is how it
Yes,
works.
and I remember us chatting about naming it after the creature. Yeah.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I don't mind. It's still fairly obvious what the step is with a Y on the end of the word or not. So I don't mind at all. But yeah, I think we refer to it still as the Jabberwock because obviously that's what he named it when it was created. So thank you for the work together and naming the step for me because yeah, and then Melody actually helped me with the Firefly because that was just called the split arm turn combo. And then she said, as you're a fire dancer, it has a fire element, a circular fire element to it. Let's call it the Firefly. So I've had some assistance. I've been lucky. I've had some assistance with names for sure.
That's a lovely move, that one, the Firefly. It's one of my
Yeah,
favourites.
yeah. I always try and stick that in if I can. Yeah. So yeah, I feel really lucky that now, obviously having presented them to Melody, they've been put into the Sacred Sword steps. So kind of made my mark amongst Fat Chance dancers as a sword
Yep.
step, which
You're
is
official.
it's a real honour. It's a real honour. It really
It is.
is. There are some elements of change I feel that have been made to it as it's developed, but obviously I'm quite happy with that because we mentioned earlier, lots of dancers have a different style as well, and that can often change the look or the shape of a step. And you might see something and go, oh, actually that's done like that. It looks really nice. So yeah, it's like languages, and accents, things change and flow.
Yes.
So,
And influenced, of course, by the music.
yes, yeah, for sure, for sure. And I really like it when Melody slows a section of the Jabberwock down and pauses before she releases. And I kind of very much just flow through things from one to the next. And it's taught me to add some dynamic and maybe some very slow down a little bit sometimes because I can be very, oh, I can do this, oh, I can do that, with some of my steps. Oh, I've created this, everyone check it out. And actually it's nice to make it a bit more, gooey and I think the shape with the Jabberwock also, there's been dancers like Sahira before Melody, inspired Melody, that we've all watched or we've all come to know a step that is from that lineage of dancers as well. So obviously I have to pay respect to the other dancers that have come before me that have used the swords and made those shapes and used, in that way for me to then culminate them. But I think there's only so many ways you can hold and dance with a sword. There's only so many things you can do with a sword in each hand or what. So sometimes things come out and somebody will say, oh, that looks a little bit like that step or that step, but it's what it is. You can't go through art blindfolded and just create in a vacuum. It's impossible. So I'm very thankful to all the fusion dancers. There's the Russian dancers with their amazing flips that they do. There's Belladonna and her boho style. There's Sahira, who became before Melody, and I've seen her do very oriental lift and release, and so I have to be grateful for the dancers that inspired me in creating a step. Obviously I wanted to keep it in theme with what would fit with Fat Chan's sword, or Sacred Sword now as we know it, as well. So yeah, shall we demonstrate the step?
Yes.
You got the... Thank you for doing that with me. That's really cool. So as we've mentioned, the step has developed, and we're now doing the reverse taxine as we're bringing the arms in, which we weren't before. We had the arms out, we brought them in, and then lifted a hip, I think I said, as the arms came together. Whereas now we're reverse taxine as we bring them together. I think you do it the same way as me, left over right, I'm not sure. Yeah. And I have to physically do it. We've done it for so long.
The right sword behind, like it is overhead.
Yes. I don't mind which way it's done, as long as you agree as a troop. I think the visual effect's the same. As long as you're bringing them together and doing the reverse taxine and maybe just agree as a troop which way is most comfortable for the dancer. But and yes, the tuck and the undulation upwards, that stayed the same, and the lifting the chest as the swords have come up, and obviously the snickety snack part. So yeah, that's wonderful. And I really like the look with it as well. It makes a really nice shape, I think, with the swords, having the swords cross and looking down. So yeah. So anyway, I think that's everything. Thanks so much for a short chat about the Jabberwock.
Thank you for that. It's been lovely. I really enjoyed it. It's lovely looking at the sunshine.
Yeah. Pool table? Do you want to get him a pool?
Yeah.
I'm rubbish. You'd beat me. But yeah, that's really cool just to chat with you about that. And thanks so much. And thanks. I will always honour you as the namer of the step, the creator of the.
Thank you, darling.
One that's good with words and naming. So, and also for being such a patient and amazing student and dance friend, really. So, yeah.
It's so nice to dance with you again.